I've been a Phillies fan for 50 years, and I'm kind of concerned. The pitching's been phenomenal, but I think the offense is abysmal at worst. I wonder about their approach to hitting sometimes. It doesn't seem like the Phillies don't want to walk. You've got speed on that team. Nobody wants to lay down a bunt to hit I know they're paid to hit home runs, but I think you've got to play a little small ball once in a while and get things going. It gets to the point where the pitchers, in my opinion, the pitchers are afraid to make a mistake because the Phillies might not score enough runs to bring them back into the game. And I just like to know what your feeling is on that. Is a little bit of small ball, a little bit of maybe the guys that have speed laying down a bunt once in a while, and sometimes our approach to hitting is Ibanez last night in a critical part of the game, 3-2 count, and he swings the pitch up over his head. I just wonder about their approach to hitting sometimes.
I don't think we're teaching that. But at the same time, you say, first of all, if you look, you got to look and you remember, like, when, if you want me to break my team down, I can. Look at our speed on our team. What's our speed on our ball club? Our speed, guys that can run.
In last year, you had Martinez, you had Brown, and you had the left field, or the center fielder. No, last night's game. Martinez, Mayberry. They're three guys that can run, can't they?
Have you ever put his clock on?
No, I haven't.
How do we steal bases, Bull? By time.
How many did you have, Bull?
We steal bases by time, pitcher's time, catcher's time, throwing, things like that. But also, like, if you get a good lead and you are a good base runner and things like that. But at the same time, the clock, I used to argue with Kenny Lofton, the clock don't lie. And you're like, that tells you how fast you are. And we basically, there is a technique to stealing bases. If you haven't stolen bases through your career, what makes you think you're going to steal them in the big leagues? Does that make sense? And then we get back to bunting. I was a hitting coach and a manager in Cleveland, and if you go back and look, when I was in the American League, we had one of the best hitting teams in baseball, and we were always with the Chicago White Sox. We were 1-2 in the league in sacrifice bunts, and 1-2 in the league in base and bunt for hits. If you go back and look, and now you tell me at the top of our order when we were good. And we got Rollins and Victorino hitting there with Utley and Howard when they having a big day, when they had their big years. We used to steal bases. We didn't bunt because we were stealing at a 90% of our attempts. We were stealing at least 90% of the time. We were safe. And so we ran Victorino and Rollins in that situation. Also, we had Michael Bourne, too, who we used to put in for Burrow. We don't have that kind of speed no more. And then when you start talking to us about bunting, well, also, who's going to bunt on our team? Banyas ain't going to bunt.
No, I'm not expecting him, but I thought maybe Martinez or one of those guys, one of the young guys coming up, or try to use their speed once in a while, just maybe to get something going when things are flat.
Martinez is, at best, average runner.
Really?
He's an average runner. I'm not we're just getting back down and cutting it like just where it's at. He's an average runner. He's real good hands. He gets the ball good quickness on the infield. Got good hands, good arm. He's an average runner. Put a clock on him. Can he steal a base? Yeah, if the times are right. If the pitch is 1-4, 1-3, the plate, and the catcher's 2-4, 2-2, something like that. Yeah, he can steal a base. That makes sense? I'm not saying he can't steal a base, but now he's not going to steal no 50 or 60 or 70 for you. Something like that. He's not a guy like you know what a good stolen base guy is? When the other manager can look over and say, "Hey, Charlie, we going, you ain't going to stop us." That is a legit stolen base guy. Now, if you're not one of those guys, but then you better be able to get a good lead. You better be a real good base runner, and know what you're doing. That's basically what it is.
You guys found out in the last few minutes, and one of the things I like best about our manager, you ask him a question, he'll tell you the truth.
Also, I like to get back to the hitting. Like 1-0, pitch something like that, you gotta get a good ball to hit. You know, like last night in the ninth inning, you know, like when Dominique Brown's hitting, and 2 balls and no strikes, and he chases when Morrow was pitching, this guy can walk everybody in the ballpark if you let him. And he swings at a breaking ball down in the dirt, 2 balls and no strikes, that's not good hitting. And you got, the whole secret to hitting is getting a good ball to hit. And you know, like we've always been aggressive. And I come through the minor leagues. I'm sitting here talking to you today because I was a teacher when I was in the minor leagues, and I really would 2-0, 3-0 was good hitting counts for me. Yeah, and also depending on what the score in the game was. But you had to be able to do that. Now, if you can't really execute it, well, then more likely you're definitely not going to get to hit 3 balls and no strikes. But there is a way to go about doing all those things. And you like when you get out of that, you know, like within, you know, like there's a good chance that you're not going to be a good hitter. If you're chasing balls in the dirt, up in the count, or swinging at bad balls, you know, more likely, you know, like you're not going to be a good hitter. Does that make sense?
Charlie's so good with our media, and always, for the first day I came and met you 6 years ago, Chuck, and one of the first things you told me, he said, Paul, watch the game. Watch the game.
Right,
That's what you always say?
Fans are great. Greatest thing in the world, really. I enjoy talking to fans. I talk to a lot of everybody just about. Really, I do. But at the same time, you know, like, when you are a fan, when you're a real good fan and you love the game, also study the game, watch the game. It tells you, like, what you see is what it is. I mean, I don't hide that. You know, like what you see is exactly what it is. I mean, that's and you're like really, and whether it's a manager or a coach or the player or whatever, I mean, that's what it is. But you know, like you got to play the game right. You got to play it, and if you execute right and you prepare. We got some guys on our team. We got some of the best players on our team I've ever been around. And if you can't learn something by those guys, and their routine and how they prepared for the game and things like that, well, that's your own fault. I mean, no coach or manager is going to beat that in your head. And you're like, we got to know the saying, we do it because we want to, not because we have to. And that works for us. And our philosophy is the game is the #1 priority. It's not about someone's individual performance and things like that. Win the game is #1 priority. And anytime there's distractions and the focus is not on winning that game, then more likely we will get into trouble. And in a 162-game schedule, that happens quite a bit.
And as you say, Chuck, watch the game. We've been lucky to watch the team with the best record in baseball. Oh, yeah. I mean, that's a lot of fun. You can't forget that.
I'd like to ask you a question.
You want to come up here? I'll go back. I'll try place.
When you turn on your TV on, and you see MLB or you see Sports Center or whatever, the last thing that they'll talk about is who won the game. The last thing they talk about, they show somebody doing something great in the game, which is good. But the last thing they talk about is who won the game. And the most important part is who won the game. Why do you come to the game? You want to see the Phillies win. The day we don't win, you're not coming to the game. When we lose, when we have a losing record, things like that, you will not come to. You will not like our team. You will not come to the game. You will not like the manager. You won't be coming to the game. The game is the #1 priority. But really, I mean, everything about it is, you know, like you go, you look at the scoreboard. We've got the biggest scoreboard in the world. It's nice, but at the same time, I don't like it. It's a distraction. It is.
What did you tell me in spring training when I asked you that question? What did you tell me? You told me that the players would be spending more time looking at themselves on the screen than they would looking at the pitch.
That's exactly what I remember, yes. No.
Okay, we have another question, Chuck.
Hi, Charlie. Joe Curry, my wife Rosemary from Pittston, Pennsylvania. We'd just like to congratulate you on 600 wins and hope we get to 700.
You know, guys, you know, like when I stand up and talk to our club and our players, it's one thing that I don't like to. I like to make sure that people understand exactly where it's at, where I come from. Our players are the ones who do the play. They don't want to execute in a situation that you put them in and things like that. And I'll tell you something, I've been very fortunate that, we've had some great players and great teams in the last 5, 6, 7 years. And we've had good talent. The talent's been there and things like that. But at the same time, they're the ones that makes it possible. They're the ones that win the game. The best game that I ever manage is when I don't do nothing. Really, I mean, hey, I'm not one of these guys I don't have to put my finger on the game.